My question is, have you ever done, it doesn't necessarily have to be a voice, but in any job where that character that had become either emotionally touched you in either a bad or a good way, or a way where you took away something from it that you feel like that character is here? Every time I think about it or experience something similar, it's like, wow, that character's experience really taught me something.
It's weird because I do on-camera stuff as well as anime and animation, and it's a good question because there have definitely been scenes that I've done, and I would have to say on camera would be a little trickier that way because you really have to go to certain places that you don't maybe want to go, and but I think when you're doing a really sad scene or anything on camera, I don't know if it's specifically something that you would take away from that scene. I think the whole experience is exhausting. So I think you walk away and you feel emotionally exhausted that you've just invested, because also if you're doing something on camera, I don't know if it's the same. I guess for animation too, we wear ourselves out, but if there's a really emotional scene, you're doing it over and over again, and it's 2.5 straight hours of really gut-wrenching bawling and whatever's happening, that you at the end of the day are driving home just emotionally exhausted. And I don't even know if I answered your question, but that's what I think that affects.
It's like where the lines blur between,
Absolutely.
Oh, this character's sad, or wow, I'm sad.
Well, that's the thing. When you get to that point and you've just been crying hysterically for 2 hours, you're exhausted because you did cry hysterically, whether you're, you or a character. So, yeah.
I had to do a commercial once, just a regular old commercial. We have a store in Canada called Canadian Tire. It's kind of like, sort of like a Home Depot in a way, but not really. I don't know. It's not even a Walmart. There's tires involved. Well, I guess there's. Anyways, so it's Canadian Tire. It's just so Canadian Tire, and it was this montage, and it just started. I was just narrating it. It was sort of like, what is it to be Canadian? It's a game on a frozen lake. It's a this, and it was just showing all these pictures of Canada and of it makes me cry. Just think, I swear to God, it makes me cry just thinking about it right now. It just showed all these pictures of people playing hockey on a pond, and just everything that it is to be Canadian. And one shot every single time. Just these girls, it said something like helping a friend or something like this, and it was these girls who were teenage girls, and they're sort of helping a friend, and they're all crying. And every time I was like, helping a friend, and I was like, damn it, it's a Canadian Tire commercial. Like, I'm doing basically Home Depot, and I'm crying every take, and they're like, Linda, your voice cracked again. I'm like, I can't. So I know, and I swear, every time I think of that, I don't know why it didn't even go on air, this thing. Oh, probably because my voice cracked the whole time. I liked it.
Before I say my question, I'll say, Linda, you're very beautiful. I think that, like, Sailor Moon.
You and me later will talk.
Okay, you guys talked about villains earlier. What is your favorite Sailor Moon villain?
What was my favorite?
Sailor Moon character villain.
Luna. For sure. Well, you know what's funny, because I was actually going through some scenes. Certainly this was not my favorite one, but when I saw this scene, it made me laugh so hard, because I was like, what is this? And it was a nutcracker.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but he's like, dance faster, dance harder, and he's just doing all this crazy. And then he starts throwing nuts out of his head at Sailor Moon and Rainy, and I'm looking at this going, what? And then of course I go, what are you throwing? He's throwing nuts at us. What are you throwing nuts at us for? Come on. And I was just there going, what is this guy? And it made me laugh so hard. So at this particular moment in time, I'm just going to say the nutcracker.
Zoicide.
Anybody else?
Do you have any tips for staying in the voice acting industry?
to get into it or stay in it? Get involved.
Yeah, just get involved and stay involved.
You know what? I think I'm not sure what it's like for North Carolina or what the industry is like. But we always say that the most important thing is to get a demo together, just a quick demo. But something that might be helpful is to go onto a website called voicebank.org or net. Voicebank.net, and all our voices are on there. Thousands of voices are on there, and you can hear advertising, you can hear animation, you can hear anything, and it's a really good indication of what you should get yourself sorted out, because you'll need a demo regardless, because you have to shop around your voice. And then once you get that sorted out, then you try and find an agent and take as many classes as you can, and maybe hook up with a radio station or give your demo to a radio station to do some announcing for the station or anything else.
Another thing that you have to do, if you're becoming a voice actor, an actor of any sort really, is you have to get used to the word no. We work a lot. We've done a lot of different things, and we hear the word no, I don't know, 50 times more than we hear the word yes, easily. Like you go into auditions and you go, ha ha, nailed it, yeah. And then it's no. You don't even hear the word no. You just don't hear anything.
Even worse than no is nothing.
Yeah. And you sit there going, ring, ring phone, come on. Is somebody on? Nope, nobody's on the line. So you hear the word no a lot, and you get knocked down and down and down, and you get knocked down pretty far a lot of times. There will be months, there can be months where you don't work, and it's lousy. And then something will come onto your lap, and it'll just be like, oh, this little beacon of hope that just brings you back up, and suddenly you're working again, and it's awesome. But you hear no a lot.